Hello travelers, Boardman21 here, and today's build is going to be the updated Werigan, which is going to be using the Spriggan pet to do all the damage while you're in Werebear form. You're going to War, which is going to give it increased attack speed, and you're going to use Entangling Roots when you War that gives it more spell damage, 100% more cast speed, and it's going to heal it and instantly put it back to full health. There's a few different weapons that you can use for this. You can craft one. Really, the weapon doesn't matter too much, but this is just an absolute beast of a companion, and it will melt through all of your bosses. We took the Emperor down in 15 seconds. We took all the other bosses down in under 10 seconds. Almost killed Abomination and Lagan before they even had time to, one, become immune, or two, to transport you to the lower section. So it's an absolute monster of a beast. It's going to get nerfed at some point. You can pretty much guarantee that. However, right now they're leaving it alone, and it's fun to play. So let's go ahead and get into the skills. For skills, we're running Entangling Roots, Werebear Form, Swipe, Summon Spriggan, and Summon Thorn Totem. We don't actually use the Thorn Totems, but if you do want to do some melee hits and you want to put an idol on there to summon them, you can, just as some extra protection, but you really don't need it. For Entangling Roots, we have 5 points in Nourish, 1 point in Bountiful Harvest, 1 point in Mana Bloom, 1 point in Roots of Lap, 3 points in Imbued Sap, 4 points in Spriggans of the Grove, 4 points in Wardens of Farward, and 1 point in Reform from Roots. For Werebear Form, we have 4 points in Grizz, 1 point in Ursane Harmony, 5 points in Ursane Heart, 1 point in Intimidating War, 3 points in Rallying Cry, 2 points in Ironhide, 1 point in Wild Command, 1 point in Woodland Bear, and 2 points in Pummel. You don't need these 2 points. You could easily put them into the Intimidating War or into the Ironhide if you would so please. For Swipe, we have 8 points in Way of the Hunt, 1 point in Wingarian Reach, 1 point in Culling, 3 points in Trapper, 4 points in Aspect of the Panther, 1 point in Feline Hunter, and 2 points in Molt. Now you can put this into having the physical shred chance on hit. However, I never found myself actually swiping. I find myself just constantly running around dodging, casting the roots. So you're basically playing a kite build, but more or less you're just running around doing whatever you want while your Spriggan cleans up the entire mess. For Summon Spriggan, we have 7 points in Floral Ascendance, 5 points in Festering Orb, 5 points in Vile Orb, 2 points in Veil Barrage, and 1 point in Veil Assault. This allows you to get 200% more multiplicative damage for hitting a bleeding enemy and 200% more for a poisoned enemy. And you're going to get over 100% chance to bleed, but you're going to have really close to 100% chance to poison. So you're almost always going to have these active after the first hit, and that's like a split second because you're doing about 20 orbs a second. And then for Summon Thorn Totem, we have 3 points in Forested Expanse, 3 points in Eternal Forest, 1 point in Grove Mind, 2 points in Memories of Edera, 3 points in Torrent of Thorns, 5 points in Venom Tipped Thorns, and 3 points in Lasting Affliction. You can change this out and use Ice Thorns. You can really do whatever you want with this skill slot. For passives, for the Primalist base class, we have 20 points. We have 6 points in Gift of the Wilderness, 8 points in Natural Attunement, and 6 points in Wisdom of the Wild. For Beastmaster, we have 23 points with 1 point in Ursane Strength, 8 points in Feline Bond, 1 point in Ardor's Loyalty, 5 points in Call of the Pack, and 8 points in the Chase. We have 7 points in the Shaman with all 7 points in Ancient Stones, and in the Druid we have 61 points with 10 points in Barkskin, 8 points in Soul's Attendant, 2 points in Woodlil, 5 points in Healing Totems, 10 points in Eternal Nature, 10 points in Hideskin, 5 points in Woodland Bond, 1 point in Natural Duality, and 10 points in Eternal Nature. This right here gives your companion the 40 adaptive spell damage, which is really what makes it do so much damage. So this is kind of an end game build, seeing as you have to have 10 points all the way at the top of the Druid tree. For items, the idol that we have is a 45% chance for minion to bleed on hit, and then we have some idols for minion chance to poison on hit. The max roll needs is 20%, and you can get, 4 of those, so you can have up to 80% chance to poison, and then for bleed you have 45%, plus on our chest we have another 90%, so it has over 100% chance to bleed, so that one's always guaranteed on the first hit. The poison might take you a couple of hits to get. For the weapon, there's a few different uniques that you can use. The Reach of the Grave is going to be one that gives your minions 120% increased spell damage, or somewhere in whatever range that it rules, and you're also going to get to leech 10% of the damage dealt by their spells, which means that it's going to have no survivability problems. It's going to be leeching 10% of all of that damage it does, which is just crazy. You can also throw in Eric's Bones, which gives them a chance to apply Armor Shred on hit and has 165% Armor Shred effect, which is going to be huge when it comes to now. You'll lose a teeny bit of the spell damage, but it's still going to do massive damage. But that Armor Shred for like bosses and stuff really lets you just plow through them. The only other unique is we're wearing Boardman's Legacy, and what this does is give your minions 21% more cast speed, so it casts even faster. You couldn't get this last patch, so it's just a little bit faster than it was last patch. On top of that, this limits you to 1 maximum companion, but you're already limited to that, so it's not a huge deal. For the rest of our items, shared minion damage on the chest piece. For the offhand, we have minion health, some minion dodge rating, more minion damage, and then you have set elemental. Not set elemental, you have regular elemental resist in the suffix, and then for the prefixes we went with set physical and void and set necrotic and poison, and that's going to be how you get all of your resistances capped. And like I said, all you're going to do is run around and cast Entangling Roots. That's all you're going to do. The Entangling Roots will heal your companion. You're just going to run around a war, and as soon as you do, look at that attack speed. You're going to try and always get him inside of the roots so that he'll always have that attack speed, but all you have to do is run around. This damage will take care of everything else. For our character sheet, as you can see, we're capped along the borderline. We have almost 1700 armor for another 30% damage reduction, and then for our minion stats, we have almost 900% increased health. We have some increased minion health regen, almost 500 dodge, and just massive amounts of damage for it. Alright, here's some more gameplay.